Night, Jenna stepped out onto the platform of the old train station, her breath forming faint clouds in the chilly air. The station, forgotten by time and shrouded in mist, seemed to pulse with an eerie energy. The clock above, its hands frozen at 12, added to the unsettling atmosphere. Jenna was drawn here by a recurring dream, a vision of a train that only appeared at midnight and seemed to call to her. The sound of distant, mournful whistling cut through the silence, and Jenna turned to see a train materialize from the fog. Its engine was a dark, imposing structure with a brass faceplate that glowed faintly. The Midnight Express, she thought, her heart racing as she approached. It was exactly as she had dreamt it, but more real, more ominous. The train's door slid open with a soft hiss, revealing an opulent interior bathed in dim, golden light. Jenna stepped inside, and the door closed behind her with a resonant clang. She was greeted by a lavishly decorated compartment, its velvet seats and dark wood paneling starkly contrasted by the shadows lurking in the corners. The conductor, a tall figure in a dark uniform with a face obscured by a shadowy brimmed hat, gave her a curt nod before disappearing down the aisle. As the train started to move, Jenna settled into one of the plush seats. Through the window, the station platform and the mist outside began to fade into a shifting, dreamlike landscape. The train rumbled on, and with each mile, Jenna felt as though she was descending into a labyrinth of her own mind. The compartments of the Midnight Express were like individual worlds, each one a reflection of the fears and regrets of its passengers. Jenna moved through them one by one, encountering strange, unsettling scenes. In one compartment, she saw a replay of a long-forgotten argument with her mother. In another, an endless hallway where her own shadow seemed to take on a life of its own. Each scene was accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread, pulling at her heart. In one particularly harrowing compartment, Jenna came face to face with her greatest fear, being utterly alone. The compartment was empty, save for a single cracked mirror reflecting her image. The reflection, however, did not mirror her movements. It acted with a will of its own, mocking her and amplifying her loneliness. She reached out to the mirror, but her reflection seemed to recoil, as if it had its own agenda. Desperation began to creep in. Jenna's mind raced to piece together what was happening. She realized the train wasn't just transporting her physically, it was taking her through a journey of her inner darkness. The Midnight Express was a vehicle for self-discovery, forcing its passengers to confront their deepest fears and regrets in order to escape its grasp. Determined to break free, Jenna tried to find the conductor, hoping he might hold the key to her release. She navigated through the maze-like train, each compartment presenting a new, more disturbing trial. She faced visions of lost opportunities, painful goodbyes, and self-doubt, each one more challenging than the last. Eventually, Jenna found the conductor in a dimly lit compartment that resembled an old library filled with dusty books and ancient scrolls. He stood by a large, ornate clock, its hands ticking backward. "You're not like the others," Jenna said, her voice trembling. "What is this place? How do I get out?" The conductor's eyes, though hidden beneath his hat, seemed to pierce through her. "This train doesn't simply carry you through space. It carries you through time, through the essence of your being. To leave, you must reconcile with what you have faced here." Jenna took a deep breath, realizing that escaping the Midnight Express meant more than just physically leaving. It meant confronting and accepting her fears. She reflected on each trial she faced, understanding that they were manifestations of her own unresolved issues.